Alright. Timestamp. It is December 7th, 2025, 6:30 a.m. I just got up and went to bed close to midnight, so I actually got 6 hours sleep. Yeah. I wonder what woke me up. I don't know. Oh, jeez. Yeah, hitting my phone, not cool. Alright, guys. The lanai is soupy. That's me walking through puddles. Ow. That was my arm. The sun's coming up. We did not do a garage sale yesterday because the sky gods were throwing water at us. That's right, I was doing eBay. Sold a Scooby lot. Sold a Spider-Man lot. Sold a couple things here and there. And listed a bunch more. Good, yes, roll around in the mud. Perfect. Health check. I've got a little bit of chest tightness and a shallow breathing thing going on. But I think that's because I'm nervous about the court situation. Not pleased with that. I mean, I haven't heard anything. Because, it's Sunday morning. Of course, I haven't heard anything. You don't hear anything, unless you're Breaking Bad, and then the sheriff will drop by on a Sunday morning. But okay, yeah, Tanner is doing things that don't require observation. Clearly, he did need to come outside. Better out than in. Okay. Did a little bit of work in the kitchen dining room yesterday as far as straightening and all that. Mostly doing eBay, but I did sort some more of that stuff. It's not chilly out, but it does have that, after a lot of rain, kind of cool moisture in the air. Soup. Track mud inside. My Al Gore invented brooms, right? Yes. Maybe get a new mug, but I've got a travesty over here I've got to deal with. I already turned the coffee maker off. can repair it. I'd be pretty okay if that was my only problem right now, so it'll be alright. What, you need help too? That was Hex. Are you out of kibble? Is the world ending? Scrappy, take a number. Get off the bag, bud. Go ahead. There we go. Jumped onto the washer. Now I'm gonna. Okay, you got half a bowl. Go ahead. It's my guy. My cat, you know. We keep the kibble on top of the dryer because sometimes, gently, oh, that was not gently, sir. Sometimes, who am I kidding? All the time. Oh, thanks. Are you here for your cookie as well? I gotta get the door for Tanner. Okay. There you go. It's so funny that he does that. Scrappy, let me get through. Okay, now you're doing it on purpose. Yeah. Come on, Tanner. Gonna take care of the circus animals. Alright, Tanner. You ready? You ready? Okay. Alright, that's just damn cute. Where to begin? Alright. Not sure what I'm doing coffee-wise, because I gotta make repairs. And it's funny too, because I saw it was kind of low last night when I went to bed. We were having Harry and David milk chocolate peanut butter. And I thought to myself, kind of low. It was enough for like a half a cup and then maybe a whole cup. Do I turn it off? Or is it going to be okay? My theory is that at some point, either it was in fact too low, or Tiny got a half a cup and didn't think about it. It's just possible. I mean, this, while aggravating, can be fixed. Any delay in coffee is at least a misdemeanor. But it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Yeah. Breaking it down, you know. Making progress. I'll still do water filter. Run the water through at least once. Down over here. Hope the thing's going to go horribly wrong. I don't know. So, there's a video ad. I was watching some YouTube in between listings and whatnot. Getting a couple commercials here and there. One of them was on a AI content creator. There we go. Not used to doing that left-handed. And I have to admit, and obviously for the ad, they make it look good, And I already knew this because I watch movies. I know what they can do is pretty impressive. And if everybody's able to produce that kind of stuff from home, it's terrifying. Hollywood's going to get put out of business. It's going to hurt the industry, for sure. My short list. Most of it has to do with getting the dining room, kitchen squared away. Do a list like this so that I can cross out line items, makes me feel better about things, and also so I don't forget little details here and there that I had in my mind at one point. I like to be methodical, detailed, all that. Oh, that other part of the conversation, I'm still not AI. Nope. I'm real. But, that's terrifying and impressive. And I understand why people are getting fooled. I mean, I already did anyway. I'm not dumb. But if that's the kind of thing they're able to actually sell to some consumers here and there, everybody's doing it. I'm really close to having this area done. I can knock this out. I'm going to be working some more in the garage, trying to condense a lot more of the water damage stuff, because there's water damage stuff in the garage too, from various shenanigans. Yeah, something about putting cardboard boxes full of books and other things on the floor in a room that sometimes gets a thin sheet of water on the bottom, on the floor. Over time, that doesn't really bode well for cardboard and or things contained within the cardboard. And the water tends to crawl up, as it soaks. So I'll be working around some mold today. Later on today, of course. 6 something, my wife most likely is on her call with mom. Her mom, obviously. Gosh, you can't call mine without a Ouija. My own sick sense of humor there. Just kidding, I don't do Ouija boards. It's an open line, you never know who's going to pick up the other end. Bit too random a phone call, It's like party line. You can Google that. I'm really close to having this area done. That's going to be exciting. It may not seem like it, like you cleaned an area. Woohoo. It's been so cluttered since we got here. First, not from anything we did, and then from a combination of stuff they did, stuff we did, and then just pretty much stuff we did. Or, that I did. But it's been a necessary evil to getting everything else done. I had to use this section of the slide puzzle, and I didn't want to, because I wanted to have at least an area somewhere. This is the bottom line. This is the crux of it. I wanted to have an area that was pure, was peaceful, uncluttered, that you could walk into and go, this is organized and this is okay. I can take a jump to the left and then a step to the right. I could even put my hands on my hips, and I'm not bumping into things. I'm not saying, oh, I almost stepped on something. I mean, around here, looking at you, Scrappy, it is real easy to step on something. It'd just be nice to have an area where that wasn't a thing. You won't feel like you're living in... Suddenly heard Weird Al singing a variation of Hoarder's Paradise in my head. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but just the idea of being able to walk from one end of the kitchen to the other without planning a flight path, because you're going to have to walk around the boxes that are in the middle of the floor. Be able to walk from the bar to the stovetop without having to deviate. Other than when Jinx runs in front of you because he's a black cat, and they do that. He's trying to spread the luck. I think it'll be a real mood changer, That's one thing Kelly and I were talking about the other day. Because she grew up in an environment like this. Because her grandmother was a doll collector. She used to do flea markets and doll shows and stuff like that. But was also kind of sloppy and or a hoarder. So every room had stacks in it. And we've lived that way for a little while because with the shop closing, we had an entire shop front come home and we had stacks of crap everywhere. And we're just kind of over it. We're over it. That's why we're getting things that we want to get from a collection standpoint that we want to actually play with. I use the term play with loosely, but we're not collecting to collect. That's why I am opening the box of collectibles that I know that there's 1,000 more still in box out there, so I'm not like destroying something that should be in the Smithsonian. And that's the reason I want to get my Doctor Who collection from George to here, because I know I've got a lot of mint in box Doctor Who figures from when we were running the shop. If I've already got the figure loose, I'm going to sell the one in package. I don't have to have it. I don't have to preserve it in a box in the attic where it benefits no one except maybe that part in the back of my mind that says, I own that. Who cares? Who cares? Does that make sense? Are there certain things that I want because I like the idea of playing with it? Yeah, like this little Robbie the Robot figure. Yeah. He's hanging out over here on my desk because I'm admiring him and I like to look at him. Him in a box in the attic does nothing for me. I've got those totes out there that have Doctor Who figures, Star Wars figures, things like that. But I'm going to be doing dioramas and being able to actually, my version of play with them. I'm not setting up a whole bunch of stormtroopers with, Han and Chewie and pew pew. I'm not playing with them exactly. But this is my version of it. And I don't need them in boxes in an attic. How is that benefiting anything, anyone? My grandkids, when they're trying to go through stuff to go to college, I'd much rather have, money sitting in an account ready for them than them having to go through a year or two of going through someone else's belongings and sell them. Because that's what's going to happen here. Let us see what we have done. Without burning ourselves, hopefully. That's a lot better, right? I'm going to run some through again real quick, though. Sometimes if I don't do it a second time, because, we've done this before. Of course we have, right? Beg your pardon. Sometimes if I don't do a second run after we've burned the pot, it'll still have that, burned coffee charred flavor going on when I make a pot. That's no bueno. It's like sea salt caramel with, is it charcoal, I think? It's not cinnamon. Yeah, I did have somebody cancel an order on me. He bought it Thursday night, 11 o'clock. And he sent a note to me Saturday requesting cancellation. And I responded, I'm like, I can cancel it, sure, but what's going on? He's like, it's been 24 hours and I hadn't heard anything. It's like, I've already got it packaged, ready to go out Monday morning. He's like, well, why didn't you send it Friday? I'm like, you want the truth? I was with my lawyers all day. And the post office here is kind of rubbish on the weekend, so I had it set to go out Monday morning. And I even sent him a picture of the package ready to go. And I canceled his order. I'm like, it was ready, but here. Because that was going to be negative feedback no matter what I did. And maybe a return refund request. I'm not playing games with people. You know, the ink's barely dry on the contract, and you're like, why don't I have it in my living room yet? Like, give me a serious? Dude, I run an eBay store. I've got a couple hundred items up. In case you hadn't noticed this, I'm not Amazon. I'm not going to have a driver at your door 20 minutes after you bought the thing. If you want to be this impatient, I recommend Amazon. They're really, really good at rapid fulfillment. They are. But I typically don't send out like 12 hours after the purchase. I usually do give it at least a day to make sure that the payment is secure and that there aren't shenanigans there. Because I've been burned on this before. I've had people buy things, and then pretty much the second I sent it out the door, they canceled their order. The money barely left their wallet, went right back to their wallet, and my stuff was already in the mail to them. And then they folded and left, basically. And eBay's like, we can't get the money back for you. Sorry about this. Years ago, but they were like, we can't get the money back for you because it just got yanked out of our hands too. And it's like, it's early days of eBay, but it's like, okay, so they basically walked away with my product and the money. That's cute. It's cute. It's a good hustle. It's a good hustle. Okay. So yeah, no, I don't ship something out like 2 hours after they purchased. Nope. I've been burned in that game. So I'm gonna block that guy from, seems like Wombat something, his handle. I'm gonna block him from basically bidding on any of my stuff because I'm just not gonna play games. I'm 54, I may not look like it. I know I don't look like it. But I am, in fact, too old to play those kind of games. Do I want to sell things and get rid of stuff? Yes, clearly. But I also don't want to get taken for a ride either. Just not in the mood. I mean, I've never really been in the mood for that, but the past 2.5 years, whatnot, dealing with my parents, I'd like to think maybe more compassionate about a lot of things, but it has also increased a healthy cynicism within me. I'm still the guy I was. And I'm a little bit more childlike in some ways. And in others, I'm a little bit more angry and bitter. It's weird. It's weird what the path has done for me. But I'm still me. I'm just me a half dozen ugly lessons later. But yeah, I don't want to do to my kids what we're dealing with. I want to enjoy the things that I have and dispose of the extra baggage that I don't actually need. You know, my dad is still around, obviously, dementia, So, not really here. In his office, he had huge amount of Volkswagen collectibles and displays and things of that nature. Volkswagen buses, like some of the big, 2 foot long toys in a big box with a plastic front that you could see through and whatnot. Had them all over two entire walls of the office. That's cool. That's cool. I mean, he wasn't able to really use his office anymore because of the hoarding, and there were just stacks of stuff, and you couldn't even really walk into the room. But in its prime, I'm down with that. Because I'm probably going to have the same thing going on in my personal space, but it's going to be, dorky sci-fi stuff. It's there on your walls because you're able to enjoy it on the daily when you go in to do stuff. You've got an entire wall full of Volkswagen buses and campers, various size models and whatnot that you can look at and go, because that's what he loves. I'm cool with that. I am. But that's not the only thing that we have to deal with. We haven't started selling anything like that. We're not going to. It's not the right time for that. Legally, and just, it's his stuff. He's still alive. No. But we are packing it nicely and storing it somewhere so that it doesn't get damaged and so that we can actually utilize the space. But, that I'm totally forgiving of and would expect. The boxes of one day we'll get back to garage sailing bullshit that are everywhere, and or the stacks of stuff on the lanai, broken stuff. Just, that's the stuff that I look at and go, guys, what are you doing? This is the stuff I warned you about 2 years ago. I was going to wind up getting stuck dealing with. My prophetic soul. It's almost like I was right. Almost. There's more fun to do than just chew on a rope, right? Yeah, but I'm gonna chew on the rope anyway. I'm actually getting hungry. I'm usually not hungry when I first wake up. I was yesterday. I don't know what came into me, but I made like 4 eggs and 4 of those little mini sausages, whatnot. And a big old traditional lumberjack kind of breakfast. It was good. Eggs, I noticed, have gone up again just a little bit. They're not at that $8 a dozen mark that they were. Which, that was insane. You've never seen egg prices go up that high. I've seen a lot of goofy shit. But right now, just from a timestamp standpoint, a dozen eggs is like almost $3. It's like $2.90 something at Wally. Just again from like a just from a timestamp standpoint. Black, it's very slimming. Critic. Hey, you wish you looked so good. Waldorf over here. Just need one. Yeah, he's running away from you because he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be sucked on. The AI is not going to know what to do with that. What does he mean by that? Okay, so to understand, Hex was standing next to me, and then he just bolted into the garage because Scrappy came trotting over. Scrappy has a tendency to do this like grooming thing with the cats, which they typically like lay there and enjoy it. It does remind me of like chimps in the wild, like, you know, grooming each other. But there are moments where Hex is like, stop, you know? So when he runs away from you, that's his way of saying, I'm not in the mood, I have a headache. We'll look at some YouTube later so you understand what that reference was. Alright, what are we doing today? It's just me. Pretty sure Tiny's asleep. Tiny was doing D&D yesterday with friends from all over the world. It is pretty cool you can do that now. I've been able to do it for a few years, but, you know, when I was 12 and 14 and whatnot and playing D&D, yeah, that wasn't a thing. That was not a thing. So yeah, Tiny's best friends two of them live in Ireland. One of them is in South Africa. I guess is considered an Afrikaner. That's the term. And two of them are in Texas. Oh, that's right, I put my Taz mug away. Alright, time to got a new mug. Scrappy, can you not lay right in the path? I look forward to us not having paths, but seriously. Oh. These are my decisions. I'm going to do one of my new Bugs mugs. This is an 11 ouncer that I actually fell in love with. I got like 3 Bugs Bunny mugs, and this was the main reason I ordered it. It's simple, but I love the whole film strip line along the top. Just adds this extra layer of texture to the idea. Okay, but when I open the fridge door, you're gonna, yeah. Well, that was awkward. I warned you. Looks all put out. Oh, man. I was laying there. In front of the fridge door. In the one narrow path that we have. What could go wrong? Gesundheit, Hex. My cat is the sinus cat. Every classroom's got that one kid with the perpetual runny nose. Yep, that's my guy. God keeping you humble, because you're just so cool in every other aspect. Can't give you 5 perfect cards. Give you 4 perfect cards and then 1 to work on. Yeah. Speaking of Looney Tunes mugs, this should be... I'm still playing fun and games with that one guy with the Taz mug. It's that second large face Taz mug I can't seem to get here. I ordered it on November 10th. And we've been playing, oh yeah, I'm shipping it out games for like a week and a half, 2 weeks now. He's about to get a call from eBay itself. Because I'm so easy to work with, man. I'm so easy to work with. But when you tell me you're going to send it out and a week goes by and I, say, hey, and then you say, you know what, you're right, I'm sorry about that. I'm going to get it out this weekend. And we've gone another week or whatnot. My dude. I don't normally call the authorities, but on this one, you've had 2 weeks and 2 chances. I know I'm easy to work with. I really am. Despite everything going on in my real world. I'm not good. This is packed right. That is a good sign. You got to pack the hell out of these things, or they float around in the handles. The handles are usually what breaks. Okay. Interesting. I'm not sure if this is part of that same group or not. We're going to look at something. No. Wow, I was really close. Sorry about that. So, it's one of the many faces mugs. And I already have a Sylvester, but it's a different background color. And I'm not sure. I don't think it's faded. I'll have to investigate that. But I do like the many faces mugs. So, picked up a new Sylvester one. And this video is going way long. Alright. Exactly. I'm going to enjoy some coffee and chill out. Sun's coming up. And it's not even tomorrow. Alright. Might make some yogurt. Alright. Anyway. Try and take care of 1 or 2. 1 brick, 2 brick. Green brick, blue brick. Got a Dr. Seuss mug the other day, so, it's in my head. Anyway. Make it a great day.